I wonder why the GMD of Nnpc would actually say that the refineries are no longer, you know, good enough to be opened, because he says that it does not make sense to even operate the refineries any longer. And I really don't know why he have said that, but in this report we're yet to find out why he would say such a thing, because in Nigeria some of the refineries we have not actually been even functioning as much as they are supposed to. That is why we have oil, but yet we buy at very exorbitant prices, and also very, very, limited being released to us. Well, all of this we'll find out in this report, but please, if you haven't subscribed, ensure you hit the subscribe button and also give this video a thumbs up, and don't forget to turn on your notification bell so you get notified anytime we drop a new video. All right, it says right here that the Group Managing Director of Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation, NNPC, Mr. Mele Kyari, said the corporation deliberately shut down the nation's refinery because they no longer make sense to be operated. The GMD disclosed this when he appeared before the House of Reps Representative Committee on Petroleum Upstream on Thursday. He said that the Nnpc was unable to supply crude oil to the refineries, adding that it was only the Escravos pipeline which the Nnpc managed to sustain through contracting process. According to him, it is practically impossible to run the pipeline at their optimum capacity. For instance, to run Kaduna and Warri refinery, you need to deliver 170,000 barrels of oil per day so that both will operate at 70% capacity, he said. Kyari said that at the moment it only had over 5,000 kilometers of pipelines with 13 fuel depots, which according to him must be protected to forestall the activities of vandals. I can tell you today that except the Atlas Cove to Ibadan line and also the Port Harcourt to Aba line, none of these pipelines are serviced. We cannot flow product into these lines. The cheap one is to say they are aged, but the real reason is that the level of activities of vandals on these lines is gross, monumental, and profound. At every point within a month, we fix 80 vandal points. The option is to shut them down, and the result of having one depot is what we have seen in Lagos, he said. The GMD said that the activities of vandals made it impossible for pipelines to be operated, adding that from January to June, it had lost petroleum product close to 43 billion naira. Kyari said that to protect these pipelines, the Nnpc had to engage the service of security agencies to curtail the activities of vandals. He urged the House of Representatives to urgently pass the Petroleum Industry Bill (PIB), adding that the passage would encourage investors in the sector. Kyari said that by the end of December, there would be hope for petroleum sector, adding that the Nnpc would declare dividends of Nigerian people. He promised to run the corporation with transparency and accountability, adding that the Nnpc had published its audited report of 2018 and 2019, which according to him had not happened before. Representative Musa Ada, the chairman of the committee, said that in the past the House has tried to get the budget of Nnpc but to no avail. He said that this was the first time the budget of Nnpc would be presented to the National Assembly, adding that to whom much is given, much is expected. Ada, however, commended the House of Reps for ensuring that the PIB scaled through the second reading on October 24th, saying this was the fifth time the PIB would be brought before the National Assembly. Ada, however, commended the House of Rep for ensuring that the PIB scaled through the second reading on October 24th, saying this was the fifth time the PIB would be brought before the National Assembly. Initially, most problems are usually from the Nnpc because no one wants his power taken away from him, but I salute the GMD of Nnpc, he said. Well, the National Assembly actually commended the GMD of the petroleum company, but really, I wonder why he would make such a statement of saying that the refineries should not be in operation, that it does not make sense for these refineries to be operated because of vandals. Well, if that is the best way that there could be availability of crude oil and petrol in Nigeria, why not? We should be able to manage these things. If we are talking of vandals, those places should be well protected on a normal ground. Those places where we know that majorly where we get our, income from should be well protected, because if anything happens to Nigeria petroleum sector today, Nigeria is going down, irrespective of whatever we feel we have. Nigeria is going down because that is the primary source of Nigeria's income. Every other are secondary. Even when we talk of agriculture, how many things does Nigeria really export out of the country? How many places do they send their vegetables to, like tomatoes and onion and the likes? How many places do they really import those things? Do they really export those things to? So these are majorly we should think and make headway on how Nigeria can be more productive. Yes, there's a post that I dropped actually, and someone actually made a comment and says because the naira is depreciating because Nigeria does not produce anything. And I can say the person is right. What have we been producing? What can we make the economy of Nigeria better? What is Nigeria? What are the innovations? Even people that are innovating, the country itself is not even encouraging those that are actually producing. The last time they said, okay, no importation of rice, and yet there was still a lot of imported rice being seen in the country. And even when they said, okay, no importation, the ones that were even made in Nigeria were more expensive than the imported rice. So what is that trying to tell us? That even when we produce ourselves, it is more expensive. So we stay with the even when we create things for ourselves, they are still expensive. So what is the point of creating goods for ourselves when it is still on the high side? We cannot even help ourselves to become better. The rice, it's on the high side and it is not 100% polished. So there is a lot of work to be done in the country, and I don't know what these guys are actually sitting up there doing. All they have to do is to think of way to fill up their pockets, embezzle funds, send their kids abroad, live luxurious life, and every other person in the country keeps suffering. This has to stop. But all the same, guys, that is the report from here. I wonder why this GMD is saying that the refinery should be closed. Well, if you agree with all of this, you can drop it in the comment section, and don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. Do have a pleasant time. Bye for now.